Hello. Today I got a little stack of comics to review. Not too many, just a couple fun ones that I just recently read. So I figured, what the heck, we would get through these, see if there's any that you want to check out. Starting out, we're going with issue 3 of Blood Type. If you have not been reading this is done differently than all the other EC comics that have recently come out and the ones from the past. This one is basically an ongoing story. It doesn't have a bunch of little stories in it, but if you've been missing out, this is written by Karina Bechko, art by Andrea Sorrentino, colors by Dave Stewart, lettering by Richard Starkings, and comic crafts Tyler Smith. Our character, she landed on this island, came by ship, basically made all the ship mates her snack, keep her alive until she showed up on this island. This character with his arm in a sling just so happens to be a vampire on the island. I can't fully figure out if these characters are full-fledged vampires or if they have other things going on, if there's only certain ones that are vampires. We do get the whole uh, Cinderella story type thing with a character and learn about how she was turned and where she came from. Here you got basically symbolism of basically Dracula, the his three little concubines, his little vampire gals that he keeps in his sect. And yeah, she goes through a bunch of stuff. We get a bunch of history lesson about her past in this issue. We find out that who these characters are on the island and stuff that she has to try and figure out how there's a connection between her and them. They're basically wanting her blood so they can use it to craft some type of special ability by using her blood and some other things that they did. Uh, Things get a little sketchy. She calls in, starts making a noise, and a bunch of rats appear and stuff. She's way stronger than them, but yet they have their own tricks up their sleeve. And this issue is going to lead us into finding out all about the other people on the island and what's going on. There's been, well, it started out that it was travelers that were disappearing, but then we find out it's actually locals that are disappearing and stuff like that. And yeah, that's the next issue, which I believe is the penultimate issue, will definitely look like it's going to show us what's going on the island completely, and we'll learn a lot more from that one. This was a good introduction into her past and a little teaser of the other characters and what their plans are. The Quick Stops books. This is Quick Stops Volume 3, Number 1. I'm confused. It's Chasing Amy, written, penciled, and inked by Holden McNeil. And we basically go through the old Chasing Amy movie, get a replay of everything that's going on there with a little bit of extra content. I'm confused though why this is Quick Stops Volume 3, Issue 1, because we already had an issue of Volume 3. I thought that was Issue 1, representing a wonderful person that we lost. Way too young, if you missed out on that issue. So I'm kind of curious. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure why this is also listed under number 1, but yeah, you're basically getting your more detailed story from the Chasing Amy movie. This one, Chasing Amy wasn't one of my favorite movies. It was a decent movie and everything, but I just not one that I rewatch a lot. But if you really like the Chasing Amy movie, this would be a good one for you to check out. Get a little bit more info and stuff about it, about everything that happened in there, and I just I don't know, that one just flowed weird for me compared to all the other Quick Stops comics. I didn't hate it. I just seemed too close to just the main movie itself. So I don't know. We'll see what the next one has to offer. I don't know if they're going to keep going off Chasing Amy or what's going to happen, but we will see. Then we got Death of the Silver Surfer, which I reviewed the first one. Here we got issue 2 and issue 3 I just picked up on Batman Day because my comic shop didn't have anything for Batman Day. They didn't even know it was Batman Day. And the main shop up north did, apparently, but this one didn't, and they didn't have nothing. So I'm like, well, I got to pick up something for Batman Day. So I bought that one Batman book that ended up being the Hush 2 run, which if I would have known, I wouldn't have, but the cover was really cool. It had like a Universal Monster style cover. And I'm bummed that I didn't open it up and check to see what run it was, because I heard Hush, the first volume of Hush was decent, I guess. People were saying, but a lot of people didn't care for the second volume, the start of it at least. So I checked it out. I didn't really care for it either, so I get what they were talking about. Just wasn't a story that was grabbing you and pulling you in. But on this one, Death of the Silver Surfer, uh, I get like I hate that they put stuff so far into the book. Just start the damn book at the beginning with all the information so I don't have to look around for the information that I'm looking for. Which I'm guessing is going to be on the last page. Nope. Second to last page. Yep. Greg Pak, writer. Sumit Kumar is artist. Frank D. Armada is the color artist. And VC's Joe Sabino is the letterer. But we're dealing with an organization that's taken down people with powers. Uh, they call them aliens. They feel anybody that's got more powers than anybody else should be wiped off the earth, wiped off the out of the solar system or whatever. And this gal, she's the main hunter that works for the organization that's hunting down all aliens, all superheroes, whatever you want to call it. But we're learning something from this issue about Galactus being damaged at one point, and because of that damage, uh, there's a little bit of Galactus's blood that appears. He gets cut when he gets got damaged, and a drop of blood has apparently has so much cosmic power that uh, I don't know if Galactus is hard to cut or what, but by seeing this, you would think that Galactus would have been cut in the past, unless he can't be cut and there's a special blade that had to be used to cut him. We didn't find out that in here, so I don't know if that's what's up with it or not. But in the second issue, you see the other characters that are off hunting the superheroes. She's obsessed with Silver Surfer. She wants to kill off everything. They end up collecting some main heroes throughout here. Uh, Son of Scar is in this issue. They attack him. Uh, Fantastic Four gets attacked. There's just a variety of characters, and it's like she, she is so obsessed with taking everything out that has any extra abilities or anything. You don't hear nothing about the point that, hey, you have abilities too. So instead of killing everybody else off, you should be realizing that these people have these powers, and as long as they aren't using them for bad, why are you taking them out of trying to wipe them out of the solar system, out of everything, off the planet? And yet, you obviously got some type of abilities yourself because in her teenage years and stuff, she was extra more athletic than other characters around her. I'll say it that way. But yeah, that whole part of it, just I get it. You got to have the things to keep your mind into the story. You got to have some type of good, some type of bad, all that stuff. But yeah, she's been annoying me. Her name's Cole, I think her last name. Uh, but she just I don't know. Yeah, her actions, her attitude and stuff, just don't care for her. As you can see, a lot of the superheroes are encased, caught, and he's not smart enough to realize that the guy that's giving her orders to do things is also doing his own evil while she's off doing his bidding. And yeah, we get some good battles going on in here. I mean, I don't like that she outsmarts the Fantastic Four and stuff easily. I don't like the way she's been treating the Silver Surfer in here. It's just she doesn't. I mean, unless I'm missing something, I don't think she has any real ability to be stronger than any of these characters. But yet she's one step ahead at all times. I don't know if it's just the weaponry she's using or what, but it doesn't make sense that she's single-handedly pretty much taking down all these bigger entities. But yeah, we learned something about Galactus and his blood, and this guy uses Galactus's blood to contain the Silver Surfer, so he can use something from the Silver Surfer also to power something or to do something with. He's got something going on. There's a reason he's containing all these heroes and stuff and trying to get them killed off. There's just more to it that I'm not seeing yet, but I was into it after the first issue. Second and third issue kind of bored me, just seeing these characters that want to be powerful, being more powerful than cosmic entities and stuff. I don't know. I guess it's just another storyline. I should accept it. But the last one we're going to talk about is another run that I'm not overly thrilled with. Krypto is issue 3, which apparently is the final issue. Now I was not happy. I didn't buy a sketch cover, but they give you the two covers anyways, which I feel is weird. But I don't mind an extra cover. But just this whole story with Krypto, it's just too sad. Look at that cover. And then you go into a story of a dog that's just wandering the earth, lost because his an owner he had, which he shouldn't have, Lex, just treated him like crap, and now he's trying to find his place in life. But if this is the final issue, we're not getting that. We're just getting led into something that's going to happen in a year or so. It's like, why? Why would you even write this? I was very disappointed, other than the covers, that I even got into this run, because it's not at all what I expected. I don't want to feel bad for Krypto. I don't want to see someone abusing Krypto. I mean, it's just not what I want with my animal characters. I mean, so many people in my YouTube groups are obsessed that DC is so good right now and Marvel's doing crap. Marvel's putting out 4 times as many books, and most of the ones that I read on the Marvel side were way better than the DC side. And if I have to compare something to Krypto, I'd say Jeff the Landshark. Jeff the Landshark's putting out books left and right, and they're fun. They're enjoyable. It's the way it should be. You just put a movie out that kids can actually appreciate Superman again and have something to look forward to, and they get introduced to Krypto, and the kids get all excited for the movie. Then you put this shit out. And I like Krypto in here and stuff. I wanted to see what would happen to Krypto, but I did not want to see Krypto go through the abusive parts and stuff like that. That's a bummer. But he does find a kid that's lost, helps out the kid, and it's going to lead us into some other interesting. I like this 2-page spread because he's flying with the kid on his back. Uh, at least I assume he's flying because he's above the trees. I'm sure he didn't just jump. But yeah, it's finding their way out of the woods, and then we get introduced to what's happening with the kid and everything. But the way this story is played out and left, it's just there is no answer. And you're basically, spoiler alert, Crypto's lost in a world that doesn't give a shit about him. That's basically what I get from this story. Nobody cares about Krypto. Whereas Krypto could have found someone could have took him in, he could have helped them with an event, some big event, and then that family takes him in, and then Krypto has a happy family to help him get through life, make things better, and then eventually find out that, like, the family's associated with the Superman characters, Supergirl, I don't know, but it's just the way they did this with the concept that Lex has Krypto first. I don't know if that is the way it was laid out in the older books or not. I want to read some and find out. But yeah, I thought that was really stupid to come off a movie that gave kids high hopes, gave them something to enjoy, something to look forward to, and then to turn around and just shit on the whole thing by abusing the poor dog. Yeah, that's just not happy with that run. I'm really thinking that a lot of these creators this past 3+ years are just obsessed with animal torture, showing abused animals. Which, yes, it's something that we need to talk about and things that shouldn't be out there. But I don't know. If I would have known that's what it was, I would have never wasted my money on those issues. But what you gonna do? Other than that, I like the character. I like what he did in this issue and stuff. I just feel for him. Uh, but yeah, there's our little stack today. Nothing too exciting. Basically, a lot of why are we going this route? Why are we doing this? Why aren't we focusing on the more enjoyable things? I don't know. But what you gonna do? You can just pick it up and hope that it's a good book, and what you get is what you get. So keep following under the color of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, give us those likes. Leave a comment, I'll comment back. Check out Crimson Skull Comic Club for our group podcast. Check out 5 p.m. Central Time Mondays for our live claim sales, which you can rewatch and claim off the rewatch if you would like. Uh, we usually keep the comics around, at least I do, for a couple weeks. So you can claim for up to a couple weeks after each show through my stuff. I don't know about everybody else's because Dan's selling his through a comic shop, so that he's started working with. Uh, Aaron, I'm sure, has his stuff around for a bit, but he also, I think, gets rid of the shows after a certain amount of time. The replays, I put them in my live and friend shows uh, folder on my site, so you can see those there. And then, yeah, check out the Crazy Hungarians Friday night, 9 p.m. Central show, where half a dozen people or so just get around showing off some stuff, talking about whatever. So take care. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.